So today we are going to discuss about, we will be continuing the ISO, okay, domain 6, and we are going to discuss about certification process, their bodies, and the fundamental concepts of your information security. Okay, so let's get started. Now, let's just understand first what is a certification process. Now, a certification process means that the organization which has implemented ISO 27001. Now, onto the basis of your ISMS, that is your Information Security Management System, they can approach to a certificate body to get itself audited. Okay, so the certification process involves regarding your accreditation bodies. Okay, there will be certificate body, there will be a certificate scheme as well, there will be an entire certificate process. Now, before any organization actually goes for any certificate, what they have to do, first they have to get themselves audited. Okay, what they have implanted. Okay, regarding your management system, now the organization need to understand what are the requirement of an ISO 27001, and they are fulfilling all their requirement. Okay, now how this implementation works? What do we have over here? This is the certification process. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. What are the steps? Let's understand this. Okay, again, these are the mandatory things. Before organization approaches to any of the certification body, let's say from PCB, I want to get certified from an PCB. What I have to do first? What my organization need to be done first? Okay, so first they are going to go with an ISMS implementation. Okay, so there will be an internal audit of an ISMS. It should be conducted. It should be managed then later down the line. Okay, internal audit to be done and it should be managed and it will be reviewed. Now management is going to review this. Those will be your leadership of the organization. Okay, once the organization has implemented, they are going to conduct the internal audit. They are going to review. Okay, at every level it is going to be conducted. Okay, once they are ready for the certification, at that point what they will be doing, they will be selecting the certification body. Selection will be done. Okay, selection as in there are what I said, there are many certification bodies out there into the market, so they will be going with any of them. Okay, ISMS is internal management. Okay, so full form of an ISMS is Information Security Management System. Okay, it's the standard. So let's say there will be certain budget for my organization XYZ. So it can be totally depending on to organization to organization. Let's say the budget is 10,000 USD. Okay, so budget has been decided. Now I am going to select the certification body under this budget. What certification body has been coming? Okay, go with the PCB. I want to select this body. Go ahead and get certified with them. Now this process has been done. This is the first initial stage. What the organization is going to do? First, they are going to implement as per the ISMS standard. Then post to that, they are going to perform an internal audit. Internal audit has been performed. Then their management is going to review. Management, your higher upper bodies, leadership of the organization, CISO, CTO, they are going to review it. Okay, everything has been placed. All the controls have been placed. Okay, let's say in my organization, there are separate teams. For all the teams, we have implemented certain regulations and those have been audited. Once it has been done, then we are going to select the certification body. Okay, we are good to go with this. Let's the certification body come into the picture and we'll start the second process. Now the second process begins. Okay, now in second process, what we do first, auditing preparation has been done. Okay, so certificate bodies auditor is going to come into the picture. They will be contacting each and every domain as in There will be separate domains inside an organization. Okay, one will be of a domain of an security, one will be domain of an HR, one will be domain of your management, one domain is of your let's say accounts. They will be contacting each domain, understanding what controls they have implemented inside the organization and why they have done this. Okay, once that has been done, then they will be moving into step number 2, that is your stage 1 audit. Okay, now in stage 1 audit, the internal audit is just going to um, showcase their what audit has been done. Okay, they will be sharing this report with your client as well. Okay, and you can say this will be not major confirmative during the stage 1. Then the stage 2 audit will come into the picture. Okay, so stage 2 audit will be your primary audit. It will be periodically, and we are going to prepare a documentation of for it. Okay, now understand this thing. Documentation is whatever we update. Let's say I've implemented one new control. I am going to update it onto the document. Again, this thing is mandatory. Okay, so let's say everyone has been working from home. Okay, so yes, during your pandemic time, during that time, everyone started working from home. During that time, you guys have noticed you started using a VPN. Okay, post to that, there are certain credentials for it. Let's say I am accessing some account. Now, to access this account, I am going to give my credentials, login ID and password. Okay, if I make 3 wrong attempts, post to that, what happens? There will be an alert generated. 3 wrong attempts has been done. Okay, wait for 30 minutes. Then again go with and login. You guys has noticed this thing in your banking accounts as well. If you are trying to access your banking account after 3 attempt, after 4 attempt, yes, timeout. It is giving you a timeout of 30 minutes, of 40 minutes, of 50 minutes, XYZ. What are these? These are the controls what the organization has been implemented. Okay, why they have gone with this control? We have to give the justification as well. Is it needed? Why it is needed? Additionally, any other controls to be given? Each and everything will be updated over there. Okay. Internal audit has been done. Then we will be moving to the stage number 3. Stage number 3 has been talking about audit is been followed up or not properly. Confirmation of the registry has been done. Once it has been done, you will be getting a certificate of an ISO 27001. Your organization has been certified with an ISO 21001 standard. Okay, this is how you are going to process with an certificate. Now this certificate is for an organization, not for an individual. Again, one more thing, this is for an organization. Now, what will be the post to that? Once we got the certificate, after that, what to be done? We have to maintain it. Okay, how we are going to maintain it? Every year there will be the same process. Once we got the certificate, let's say in 2023, my organization got the certificate of an ISO, I need to maintain this. Okay, in 2024, let's say March 2023, I got a certificate. Now in March 2024, there will be an again audit. This audit will be performed by the certification body. Okay, they are going to test the control. Similarly, same thing is going to happen. They are going to test the control. Okay, again in 2026 March, they are going to go with this audit again. Okay, Now this validity for the certificate will be often 3 years for an organization. Okay. Once this has been done on 2026, what the organization is going to do? Update it. Update the certificate for next following 3 years. If any control is going wrong or if there is any flaw into this or major flaw into this, yes, they can take down the certificate. They have the authority. Certification body have the authority for it. In between, by default, there will be an audit. Internal audit will going to be will going to process internal and external audit. That is the again a mandate thing, and it will be a up in process thing. This thing I'm talking about your certification body. How we are going to maintain that certificate once we already got the certificate. Next thing is your accreditation body. This is your certification scheme. Okay. Now, the certification scheme totally involves your accreditation body. So every country got their own certification body. Okay. So we have for US we have IAS. In Canada we have SCC. In UK we have UKAS. Okay. For France we have COFRCA. For Germany we have DAKKS. For Belgium we have BELCA. For Switzerland we have SAS. These are what? These are your accreditation body as per the country. Okay. Yes, to perform an internal audit, we do require an ISO expert. He's going to perform an internal audit, or let's say if he is an already uncertified, he can perform an internal audit. If he knows the knowledge of an auditing, he can perform the audit. Okay, so it's particularly of an accreditation body. It's not necessary that certification body has to be accredited by the local national only. We can go with any of this. Okay, any certificate body can go with this equation, and they globally they can adopt with this. It's not a mandate thing that it should be authorized one by any respect of your government bodies. Now accreditation bodies does not conduct the internal audits or your certificate audit. The role of the accreditation body is to just give an aggregate certificate. Okay, now what do we have? Conformity assessment body. In this conformity assessment body, we have management system of an certificate body and we have personal certificate body. Okay, managing the certificate body and the personal certification body. This is for an individual. This is for an organization. Okay, though this certification body again also can be an accredited for an personal certification. So there can be a certification body who is going to conduct the training program. Okay, they are going to certify the people like you and me, so we become an auditor. Then we get hired by any particular certificate body and we perform an audit for it. Okay, this is for a personal certificate body. The one which we are discussing over here, this is your managing system or your certification body. Okay, so this accreditation body will be having an authority. It's for an independently verifying whether the certification body has been meeting or establishing the criteria or not, whether they are competing to carry out the certification assessment or not. Okay, so they will be looking after this activity like testing the caliber of it, testing, inspecting all the management system, inspecting your certification as well personally. Okay, what are the process has been running, what are the service has been running, whether the validation of the certificate has been up to date or not. All this is been taken care by your accredited body. Okay, so they have all the authority from the government. Okay, they can cover all the accredited, including your non-limit like testing, calibration, inspecting, certificate management, personal product. Each and everything will be conducted by them. They will be managing to it. Okay, so we have many. As per the country, we have these are the following list of it. Okay, so accreditation body country wise. For Argentina, we have OAA. For Austria, we have BMDW. For Belgium, we have BELAC. For Brazil, we have CGCRE. For Canada, we have SCC. For China, we have CNAS. Okay, for Egypt, we have EGAC. For Hong Kong, we have HKS. For India, we have NABCA, CB. For Iran, we have NACI. For Ireland, we have INAB. Okay, so respectively, these are the URL for it. You can visit to this organization, and their whole information has been given. Okay, information of your accreditation body country wise. Okay, so managing a certificate, managing this particular system or certification body, they need to understand that which particular body has been aggregate, or how to process with an audit management as per your ISO standard. They have to fulfill the requirement. Okay, so ISO 17021 is the part one. The standard includes your requirement related to your general requirement, organization structural requirement, your resource requirement, how many auditors should be there, what that particular auditor qualification will be. Okay, what are their information requirement, how to process with the auditing, each and everything will be managed by them. Okay, so then any certification body will be able to adhere this requirement of an ISO 17021. It is going to facilitate whether we are going to recognize this certification body or not. Okay, so a certification body can be governed or non-governmental, governmental or non-governmental organization, whether they want to regulate the authority or not. Okay, there will be again a third party implementing conformative assessment bodies. Certification bodies can be certified, manage system, personal product, process, and the services, totally depending on to them. Okay, got the idea how the certification process goes on. Now the certification process is for an organization, not for an individual. Individual can adopt any of the certificate. It's not mandatory. Like for example, let's say you want to go with this ISO 27001. Okay. Now, let's say you want to get certified. So what first thing you will be looking? Second thing will be training. Third thing will be certificate body. Okay. First you are going to set up a budget. Let's say my budget is 500 USD. In this budget, I want to go with the training as well, and I want to go with the certification as well. This is just a rough example. Okay, so I will be deciding a budget first. Once that has been done, under this budget, who can provide me a good training? Okay, not only that, I need to go with the exam as well, isn't it? For that exam cost, again, it will be coming under this, under your 5,000 US, 500 USD. Okay, so there are many certification body out in the market. PECB, TUV, IGC. Okay, so under this 500 USD, who is providing me a certificate under, let's say, the training phase is 200 USD, and I have left within budget of an 300 USD. Under 300 USD, which body is providing me a certificate? Course will be the same. Okay, agenda, course curriculum will be the same. Either you go with PCB, TUV, IGC, curriculum will be the same. Standard will be the same. Book will be the same. Okay, the difference is only the pricing of it. Now let's say I plan for IGC. is giving me for 300, TUV is giving me for 350, and PCB is giving me for 400. So I go with IGC. Now I'm going to look for what is the value of an IGC into the market. How old this certification body is sitting into the market. I will be doing my homework. Okay, that's great. IGC is into the market from last 5 to 10 years. TUV is into the market from 10 to 15 years. PCB again into the market from 15 to 20 years, which is holding a more value to into the market. So I will plan that certificate. Now, once the certificate, once it has been planned, I will go with the studies and plan for an exam and write the exam. Once the exam is been cleared, I will get a certificate to it. Okay. Now, once I got the certificate, post to that, what you will be doing? Now you are an ISO auditor. Now, what you are going to do? You are done with the training, you are done with the certification, you got the certificate of an ISO. You will start looking for a job, isn't it? Okay. Now the organization who is already certified with an ISO, they are going to hire this individual. Why they are going to do this? Because they want to maintain it, the standard which has been regulated inside the organization. They are going to maintain it. Regularly, they are going to perform an internal audit. Okay. They will try to set the controls. Okay. This is the part of an internal audit. Now, external audit. What they are going to do? Once the internal audit it has been done, external audit will take into the picture. They are going to challenge this thing. Check all the security standards have been setting into the picture, into the same profile or not. Okay. The report has to be submitted. Both the teams are going to maintain a document. Again, it's a mandatory thing. They are going to maintain the document. What new control is been implemented? What old controls has been taken away? Okay. Now, this organization is also an ISO 27001 certified. How they are going to maintain this? With the help of a certification body. They will going to certification body who has provided them a certificate. They are going to conduct an audit for them. Okay. To conduct a audit, what is the process? This is the process for it. To maintain the certificate. Okay. And who is going to perform an audit? Who is already ISO 27001 certified, hired by the certificate authority body. They are going to perform this. Correct. Okay. This is the part where organization is going to maintain by default internally. They are going to implement the security standard as per your ISMS. Then they are going to go with an internal audit. Then the internal audit is being reviewed by their upper management. Now they are going to select the certificate body. Once that has been done, your certificate body is going to perform an audit. Then the stage 2 audit. In it, all the controls have been into the picture. Let's give them a certificate. Okay. Now, management of system certificate bodies. Okay. So this management system, what they are going to do, these bodies, they are going to conduct the activity. Okay. What I said, 17,021 is the requirement for what? Requirement for your general requirement, structure requirement, resource requirement, information process, management process. Okay. So again, certificate body can be, you can select for any certificate body who can accept this certificate as per the global level. Okay, so acceptance of a certificate onto a national, onto an international basis, depending on to the organization, again, what they want to do, which particular requirement they want to go. Okay, okay. On to the basis of that, they are going to categorize this thing. What item is holding what value, and they will be an high value, low value, and less valued. Okay, depending on to the criteria, they are going to set up a control onto it. High value thing will be having a major control, medium low value thing will be having medium control, and low value will be having a least control. Okay, so there are again three new joiners, or let's say they are the, okay, so three new joiners. So what I'm going to give unlimited access to them. Okay, so basis on their access, they can only access certain details. Let's say a one database. Post to that, no other additional requirement or no other additional privilege I'm going to give them. By any chance, any details has been leaked, it can be in trouble for an organization, isn't it? Okay, let's say his credentials are got leaked. Will that be in trouble for an organization? Okay, ID and password. So any attacker, what they can do, they can use this ID and password and get inside this network. Okay, so that's the reason we are giving certain controls over here. We are deciding onto the basis of their values of the asset. For an organization, each and everything has been valuable. Those asset who is holding certain values. Okay, a table and chair is also holding a certain value. What we are going to do, we are going to add a control onto that. Physical security, CCTV camera, a guard will be placed over there. He is going to monitor if anyone is taking anything from an outside from this organization or not. So what we have done, we had added a physical security over there. Okay, laptop, computers, again, those are valuable thing. Physical security, not only physical security, we are adding certain new controls to it. Login, okay, access control. Logged with specific user ID and password. Okay, so information means meaningful data. Any, let's say a database. In that database, we are storing some information. Now, I'm going to make sure that this data is safe and secure. How I'm going to maintain it? CIA, isn't it? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Post to that, I will be adding a control. Who can access this database? Who cannot access this database? How many users can access this? So I will be creating a group of the user and adding them into the group. There are 500 employees into the organization, and I want only 300 or let's say 200 people to access this data. So I will be adding those employees into this group and will be giving an access to them. Now when there will be an audit, it will be very much easy for me to perform an audit to check what all users is having this access to the database, isn't it? I can simply check the group of it, what controls has been added, and what privileges has been given to that group. Okay, if I go ahead and individually add that user, 200 user, it will be a lengthy process, isn't it? Very much hectic for me as well to perform while performing an audit. So what I will be doing, I will be simply adding a group. In that group, I am going to add all this employee and giving the access to that whole group. Okay, so as per your ISO 9000, it's giving you the definition of your, you can say series for 54,000 as well. It is giving you the series of an quality management as well. 55,000 is giving you the series of an asset management. Okay, so this is going to, they are going to define whether we are going to use this ISO standard or not. It comes with your information security sometime, which will be, let's say we are going to specify what is the meaningful data for an organization. Okay, so asset is anything, or you can say entry that is potentially or actually having a value to an organization. Okay, so software is an asset for an organization, computer is again asset for an organization, physical asset is again the asset for an organization, services are asset for an organization, peoples are asset for an organization, their qualification, their skills, again asset for an organization. Onto the basis of that asset, we are getting hired, isn't it? Onto the basis of our qualification, on the basis of our skills, we are getting paid. Services which organization is providing, InfosecTrain is providing some services. Again, it is an asset. Okay. Another thing which need to be differentiated between what to be understand and what not to be is the document. Okay. Now document is something which we refer onto your information, onto the medium, what to be contained. Okay. It is not necessary by it is not necessary that it is a physical document. It can be your you can say a soft copy as well. Okay, which is giving us the information. It is containing all the information. Again, there are two types of document which have been specified. Okay, which state of the requirement. There are the records. Records are what? Records are again the document which is giving us the result. Okay, all the people providing an evidence of an activity. Again, that to be conducted. How we are going to differentiate between the records and the document. Document can be reviewed and updated or can be changed as per the requirement, but record cannot be changed. We cannot make changes onto the record. It's not authorized. It will be conducted as a fraud. Okay. For example, this is my office building. In this office, there are 3 floors. One fine day, floor number 2, network is not working. Okay. Let's say Wi-Fi is not working. So what the team will be doing? They will be raising a ticket. That ticket has been raised and forwarded to your network admin team. Now network admin team, what they are going to do? They will be sending one person over there to identify what is the problem, why this router is not working. Okay, he's going to fix the problem. Let's say router stopped working due to some hardware failure. Okay, now when he came into the came at that place, again, how he know that this router has been placed over here? That has been documented. What is the position? Where is that particular router has been placed? Okay. What, let's say, and if there is any hardware failure, what was the problem? What was the root cause of it? He is going to update that thing as well into the document. Okay. If we want to replace this router, yes, he is going to update that as well. Router has been replaced. A new router has been placed. Okay. Now the network has been flowing into in good condition. The Wi-Fi start working. Again onto the second day, the router stop working. Okay. And this person who visited previously, he haven't mentioned the information onto the document. He forgot to update and he is not present onto the second day. Now network admin team is going to send another person to identify what is the problem. Okay. Now he came to that place, but he didn't find the router because the guy which has visited onto the previous day, he changed the position of the router onto the other direction. There will be a downtime for this. People who are sitting idle over here, they are not working for it for that time. This will be a loss for an organization, isn't it? That's the reason everything to be documented. Availability loss. Remember, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Network is not available. There will be a loss for an organization. Organization is going to identify it. Okay, we are using certain services. Let's say a mobile carrier, mobile phone carrier. Now that mobile phone carrier is not available for 15 minutes. What we are going to do? We are going to trying to contact with that particular authorized person or authorized dealer. Why this is not working from another number? Okay, we cannot make a call, we cannot send an SMS, we cannot update anything. Okay, or we cannot recharge it. Okay, so again, for 15 minutes, organization will be saying, okay, we can bear it for in 15 minutes. Okay, let's say it is down for in 1 hour. What is going to happen? As we're sitting into the digital era, lots and lots of an tweet will be flown into the market. This XYZ organization network has been not been working. Poor network connectivity. Okay, there will be a loss of an client as well. People will be switching to another mobile carrier. Now, organization is going to decide what will be the downtime for it. In between 15 to 1 hour, 15 minutes we can take it, 1 hour we cannot take it. Let's go within 20 minutes. Max to max we can go within 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes we have to resolve this thing. Okay. And what the resolution and whatever is been updated, it should be documented. Okay, but records are what? We cannot change the record. Whatever has been updated onto the record will be staying for long. If the record has been updated or if the record has been changed, we consider it as it's an fraud activity. Let's say as per your classes which we have discussed, or let's say if you are setting into the studying classes over there, we have discussed many a time about an CIA. Okay, confidentiality, integrity, availability. There will be a lot of term you will be hearing about this. Okay, now confidentiality is talking about by an encrypting and decrypting the data. Okay, now as per your security, let's say confidentiality has been what? It's an requirement of the only the authorized person can access the sensitive data. Okay, sensitive data can be your user identification, your password, which you are trying to access that particular confident data. Okay, now there will be a security method as well to ensure who can view this authorized data, who can have the control, take the, who can make the changes onto this data. Okay, so we are assigning a role over there. In integrity, what we are ensuring that information is not been modified, which has been stored into the transect. Okay, only the authorized one can modify and make the changes. Data should be accurate, data should be authenticated and been safe from an unauthorized access. Okay, only the user will be able to relay or we will be able to correct that information. Okay, now what is an availability as per your information security standard? Whenever it is been required, where it has been required, to whom it has been required, it should be available and accessible. Okay, information security manager usually faces this three type of a challenge when there is a DOS attack. During that time, what is going to happen? Let's say DOS attack had been happening to an organization. What is going to be impacted? Confidentiality, integrity, or availability. So if there is again equipment failure, availability loss. If there is any, you can say uh, disaster recovery or any natural disaster has been happened. Again, loss of an availability. Okay. So whenever we are going to determine about an availability, so there will be an physical security as well, there will be an auditing system as well, and there will be an security policies to it. Okay. For example, first I am going to go with an physical security. Okay. Now, physical security is not providing, you can say, if security is not been provided inside an organization for to access the any particular, you can say, any particular premises or any particular unauthorized person. Okay, so this means that all the information which has been stored inside that organization is not secured if there is no physical security, isn't it? There is no physical guard. A security guard has been setting out to it. There is no CCTV camera. Whatever data inside the organization can be an end-to-end risk. Okay, there can be a threat to an theft. There can be a threat to an any other incident. In another hand, physical security of is being provided to your hardware as well. Okay, so we are going to go with a physical security first. Then we are going to go with your auditing and system effective evaluation. Okay, so we are going to investigate inside an organization process to check whether it has been all the controls have been existing or not. Okay, we are going to conduct an audit over there. Again, it's very important for an availability. Okay, which is going to let's say it is going to perform an audit for the system effectiveness, and we are going to evaluate the address. Okay, then post to that we are going to go with your security policy. Okay, now the security policy for the system, we are going to set certain privileges. Okay, remember I was been talking about we are going to assign a role. Okay, I am going to add some people into the group. Then that particular person is going to access the database. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm providing a policy over there, implementing a policy over there. Only these 200 people can access the database. Apart from this, no other can access the database. What they can do, they not only they can access, okay, from that 200 people, again I can create one more group. 150 people can upload the file as well and can download the file as well. Post to that 50 people only can read the data. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm adding more security policy to this group. Okay, once that has been done, we will be moving into the step number 3, which is talking about your system monitoring. Okay, so whatever person has been setting, logs has been generated. You all are attending this webinar. Logs have been generated. Okay, you cannot deny the fact that you haven't attended the training. How come? I can check on the log. With your ID, you had logged in inside this particular webinar. Okay. Then we have other following process. We have business continuity as well. We have the backups as well. Okay. So we are going to set up the backup to maintain the availability. How we are going to set up the backup? Let's say my one server is down. Okay. I'm trying to access in Amazon. Amazon one server has been down and service is not available. I'm trying to make a purchase of a mobile phone. In the meantime, okay, if the service is not available, what the person will be doing, he will be visiting to any other website and try to make a purchase over here. Okay, so in this place, to go with an backup, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with an backup servers. If my one server has been down, go with the backup server. In between, I'm going to set up a load balancer. All the requests which has been generated for this server has been redirected to this backup server, and from the backup server, I will be getting the reply back. What is this? Again, to maintain the availability, I go with a backup. Okay. Now, what we are doing before conducting an audit, we are doing a risk assessment. On to basis of the risk assessment, We are going to identify what asset is having and what risk. Okay. So onto the basis of that, we patch that particular weakness and we add a new control to it if required. If not, we can take down the control as well. For that also a justification has been required. Why we added a new control and why we removed a new control. Okay. Vulnerability assessment, VAPT. Pen test. Why the pen test has been done? To bypass the security control. We are bypassing the security control. We are testing the limit of it. If there is any weakness or a flaw, so we can fix it. If any additional control to be added, we can add to it. Okay. So what we do? We do a security testing and evaluation, particularly for an assessment. Okay. So what has been done over here? Have a look onto the picture. This is the data flow of your server, which has been used by the user. Okay. Let's say there is no firewall in between. Okay. So what we do? We do a assessment over here. Vulnerability assessment to your systems. It's the part of your risk assessment process. Okay. How we are going to deploy this? Again, it's a part of your. Okay. So we cannot deploy the firewall anywhere into the network. So there is an architecture given to it. We have a different set of an architecture. Okay, depending on to the organization to organization, which architecture they want to adapt. Okay, so this is the internet. This is the internal network of an organization. In between, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the firewall. If I want, I can place the DMZ as well. So this is the architecture. We call it as an DMZ architecture. So I'm placing the firewall. Behind that firewall, I'm placing the DMZ. Again, we can place IDS and IPS as well. Now that is been placed behind the firewall. Okay, there's a set of it. Again, how the network will be flowing. It is also going into an architecture. Whenever there is a design is been prepared, we go by that flow. Okay, so we add a control over there. How this thing to be regulated, how this firewall will be working on it, what controls is to be added, who can access this internal network, who cannot access this internal network. What we are doing, we are adding a control over here. Okay, and periodically what we do a test as well. We call it as a vulnerability assessment, VAPT. Okay, now how this VAPT has been done? Okay, so over here there will be no scope. No scope has been defined. Okay, no information will be provided. Without information, with your knowledge, go ahead and perform a pen test. Gray box? Correct. Some information is being provided into the gray box. Partial information. Okay, in white box, complete information. Okay, so we can go ahead and bypass this control to identify if there's any weakness, display that weakness, post to that. We are going to create a report of it. What is the weakness? What is the flaw? Once it has been generated, we are going to patch that vulnerability. If required, we are going to add an additional control. Who can access, who cannot access. Okay, so the pen testing can be used to, you can say, to complete the review of your security control and ensure that the particular, you can say, your ICT system has been secured. Okay, it's the part of your risk assessment, which can be processed. Stand of your international attempts as per your curriculum, as per your security rules. To objectify, we can test all this ICT system. from the viewpoint, what are the threats, what are the sources, what are the identified point failure of it. Okay, so we are going to check all the schemes over there, all the security schemes. Okay, now what are the threats? Okay, now threats are what? They are the potential, they have the potential to harm the asset. Okay, such as your informational process or the system consequences which can harm the organization. Okay, remember possibilities and the probability. That can be a threat. Okay, a threat is going to exploit the vulnerability of the asset, which is going to compromise your confidentiality, integrity, and availability corresponding onto the information. Okay, so there can be a physical threat. Physical threat will be your, let's say, fire can be a physical threat. Okay, water can be a physical threat. Okay, then there will be a natural threat as well, climatical phenomenon, infrastructure failure as well. In infrastructure failure, what do we have? We have, you can say, the power supply can be an infrastructure failure. Okay, telecommunication network, again, infrastructure failure. Technical failure will be your system is not available, device is not working, violating any particular information system availability. Okay, then we can say your human actions. Again, it will be a separate category in human action. We can say social engineering attack. Okay, again, it's a threat. Okay. For organization threat, can anyone give me an example for an organization threat? I have a web developing team. In that web development team, I have two web developers. Okay, and these two web developers are not available for next 15 days. Now my website is down. Will that going to impact my organization? Now what do you think? What is in threat over here? Lack of resource, lack of staff. It's again a threat for an organization. There is no one to take care of this website. That comes under your organization threat. Correct. There is no accountability. Okay. Now how this confidentiality, availability, and integrity is going to impact my organization? Okay. So the impact from let's say impact from availability. What will be there? Hardware failure. Okay. We call it as a performance degradation. Okay. Service is unavailable. Service has been interrupted. Again, it's an impact on availability. Okay. Impact on confidentiality. leak of confidential information, okay, privacy of the user and customers has been leaked over here, impact on integrity, it can be an accidental as well, okay, if we are getting any incorrect result, can I say it's an impact on availability, impact on integrity? I'm not getting a correct answer. What is happening over here? Details are getting changed, isn't it? It's an impact on your integrity. I asked what is 2 plus 2? I'm getting an answer 5. Am I getting a correct answer? Might be someone has changed the formula, how that formula has been working. Again, it's an impact on your integrity. I'm not getting a complete result, getting a complete incomplete details. Again, it's an impact on availability. I asked for an report, but I only got 3 pages of that report. In that report, there are almost 50 pages. Incomplete result, loss of data. Okay, so the potential impact that can affect my availability, integrity, and your confidentiality for that organization can face financial loss as well. Okay, there will be a loss to their asset as it's holds certain value. Okay, there will be a loss on their customer and the suppliers as well. Okay, there will be loss, the service will be interrupted, there will be a loss into the reputation as well, disrupted into the operations, disruption into your third party and your operations. Okay, you can say you are not able to engage with the users, you are not able to work with your supply chains. Okay, violation of your privacy of your user and the customers are getting hampered over here. We are not able to maintain each and every details of it. Okay, so the impact can be your accidental, impact can be your deliberate as well, impact can be your environmental as well. Okay, which can cause particularly to your availability, which can cause your integrity, and which can cause your confidentiality as well. Okay, now when we talk about security control, security controls will be having, you can say there will be a technical control, there will be a legal control, there will be a management control, there will be an administrator control. Now each and every control can be overlapped with each other. It's not again a mandatory thing, it can be overlapped. Okay, so if we look over here, there are 4 types of security controls: technical, legal control, administrative control, and your management control. Okay, so the technical measure, or you can say that again, it's a technical control. We are getting, and you can say alert over there, isn't it? We again, it's a technical control. Okay, then there is legal control where you are going to apply the control because of the regulation or your contractual obligation. Okay, so what we have a signboard. We sign a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, where both the party will be going with the legal document. Okay, the Data Privacy Act issued by the government, it's in legal control. GDPR is applicable for your operational. Again, it's in legal control. Okay, then we have the administrative control. Now this control relates to your organization structure, like your segregation of a duty, job rotation, job description, approval of the process. Okay, for, or you can say your administrative in nature as well. Okay, then we have the managerial control. Now this control is been related to your managing of the people. Okay, the training of the employees to be given or not. Again, it's a managerial control. Reviewing, auditing, coaching, these are your managerial control. Okay, so these are the classification based on the type. Okay, so what I said, these controls can be overlapped with each other. Okay, so there will be an you can say security classification and security control as well, protective, detective, and collective. Okay, so this could be classified onto your security console as per the you can say on the functions as well. So we have preventive control, we have detective control, we have you can say corrective control as well. Okay, so CCTV is your detective control, smoke detector, again it's a detective control, IDS, detective control. Okay, the corrective control, that one which is been to be installed or implemented to solve the identification. Okay, remember about the example which we discussed yesterday, sprinkler system. When there is a fire, so what that sprinkler system will going to do? At the 67 degrees Celsius, the bulb will get going to be break, and post to that there will be water will be spread into that premises. So it is what? Detective and preventive control. Not only it is detecting, it is preventing as well. Remember, they can overlap with each other. Okay, so the preventive control, what we are going to do? We are going to avoid or prevent the occurrence of the incident. Okay, so detecting the incident before it get occurred, controlling your operation, preventing your errors. Okay, now we have, you can say separation of the duties, SOC team. What they are doing? They are sitting into the network. Okay, use of an cryptography. Again, it's what? It's an preventive control. Use access of your control to your software. Who has been authorized to access the software or not? So what it is? We are authorizing that person. Okay. Now detective control. What it has been aiming to search for and identifying the problem or to the incident. We are using this control to detect or to report for the error, for the malicious act. Okay. Alarm is again a detective control. Verification of and duplicate calculation. What it is? It's a detective control. Okay, technical reviews of an application once if it is been modified or not. Okay, in corrective control, what we are doing, we are aiming at an overcome of the problem, discovering and preventing that particular, we can say that particular act. Okay, we are minimizing the impact of the threat. We are identifying the cause of the problem, isn't it? We are correcting that particular error which has been occurring. So yesterday what I said, when we go inside an organization. Let's say today is my first day inside an organization. So what HR will be doing? He will be giving me all the credentials, access card as well. Okay, if some credentials have been received over an email, post to that what we get the information over there. Change the password. What it is? Corrective control. After 30 days, what we are getting or what pop-up we are getting? Change your password. Okay, so changing the password of the system when there is a we can say there is in particular something has been detected onto the network, some malicious activity has been detected onto the network. So what particular policy will be regulating or what message we are going to display to what message we are going to give to each and every employee? Change your password instantly, isn't it? Again, it's a part of your corrective control.